Once upon a time, in the ancient kingdom of Eldoria, there was a young princess named Astrid. Eldoria was a land of wonder and beauty, known for its lush forests, sparkling rivers, and majestic mountains. But the most remarkable feature of Eldoria was the Fountain of Dreams, a magical fountain hidden deep within the enchanted forest. It was said that the fountain had the power to grant a single wish to anyone who found it, but its location had been lost to time. Princess Astrid was a curious and adventurous soul. She loved exploring the kingdom and listening to the stories of old told by the castle's wise librarian, Master Cedric. One evening, as the sun set in hues of orange and pink, Astrid sat by the fireplace, engrossed in a tale about the Fountain of Dreams. Master Cedric, Astrid asked, her eyes wide with wonder, "Do you think the Fountain of Dreams really exists?" The old librarian smiled, his eyes twinkling. "Many believe it's just a legend, but I have always felt there's truth to it. The fountain's magic is tied to the heart of Eldoria. Only a pure-hearted soul with unwavering determination can find it." That night, Astrid couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about the fountain and what she would wish for if she found it. She knew exactly what she wanted, to heal the land of Eldoria, which had been suffering from a terrible drought for the past year. Crops were failing, rivers were drying up, and the people were growing desperate. Determined to save her kingdom, Astrid decided to find the Fountain of Dreams. Early the next morning, she packed a small bag with essentials, including a map of Eldoria, a compass, and a locket given to her by her late mother. She told no one of her plan, not wanting to worry her father, King Alden, who was already burdened by the kingdom's plight. Astrid set off on her journey, heading toward the enchanted forest. The forest was dense and mysterious, filled with ancient trees whose branches whispered secrets of old. As she ventured deeper, she encountered a fox with fur as red as autumn leaves. The fox seemed to be waiting for her. "Hello, little princess," the fox said, surprising Astrid with its ability to speak. "I am Fenwick, guardian of the forest. What brings you here?" "I seek the Fountain of Dreams," Astrid replied, trying to sound braver than she felt. "My kingdom needs its magic to end the drought." Fenwick studied her for a moment, then nodded. "Very well, I shall guide you. But be warned, the path is fraught with challenges that will test your heart and spirit." Together, Astrid and Fenwick journeyed through the forest. They crossed a river by solving the riddles of the water sprites, who guarded the only bridge. They navigated through a maze of thorns with the help of a kindly old owl named Orion, who gave Astrid a feather that glowed in the dark. After several days, they reached the heart of the enchanted forest, where the air was thick with magic. There, they encountered the final guardian, a majestic unicorn named Leora. Her coat shimmered like moonlight, and her eyes held centuries of wisdom. "To reach the Fountain of Dreams, you must prove the purity of your heart," Leora said. "Tell me, Princess Astrid, what is your deepest wish?" Astrid didn't hesitate. "I wish to end the drought and bring prosperity back to Eldoria. My people are suffering, and I want to help them." Leora nodded approvingly. "Your wish is selfless and noble. You may proceed." With Leora's blessing, Astrid and Fenwick continued until they finally stood before the Fountain of Dreams. The fountain was a magnificent sight, with crystal-clear water that sparkled like diamonds. As Astrid approached, the water began to glow, reacting to her presence. "Kneel by the fountain and speak your wish," Fenwick instructed. Astrid knelt and placed her hands in the cool water. "I wish for the drought to end and for Eldoria to flourish once more." The fountain glowed brighter, and a soft, melodic voice echoed through the clearing. "Your wish is granted, pure-hearted princess." Suddenly, the ground trembled, and a stream of water shot up from the fountain, spreading across the forest and beyond. Astrid watched in awe as the magic flowed through the land, reviving rivers, filling lakes, and nourishing the earth. The once dry fields began to bloom with life, and the skies opened up, bringing gentle rain. With her heart full of joy, Astrid thanked Fenwick and Leora for their guidance. She returned to Eldoria, where she was welcomed as a hero. The people rejoiced, and King Alden embraced his daughter, proud of her bravery and selflessness. The kingdom of Eldoria flourished once more, and the story of Princess Astrid's journey to the Fountain of Dreams became a cherished legend, reminding everyone of the power of hope, courage, and a pure heart. And so, under the gentle rain and the blooming flowers, the people of Eldoria lived happily ever after, forever grateful for their brave princess. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a hidden valley surrounded by towering mountains, there was a magical village named Mistwood. Mistwood was renowned for its lush greenery and sparkling streams, but what truly set it apart was the Whispering Wind, a gentle breeze that carried secrets and stories from the past. The Whispering Wind was said to be the spirit of the valley, guiding the villagers with its soft murmurings. It was believed that if one listened carefully, the wind would reveal hidden truths and offer guidance. But the wind had grown silent in recent months, leaving the villagers anxious and uncertain. In Mistwood lived a brave and curious girl named Elara. She had always been captivated by the tales told by the Whispering Wind. When the wind stopped whispering, Elara felt a deep sense of loss and knew she had to do something to restore its voice. One evening, under a sky painted with hues of twilight, Elara set out to find the source of the Whispering Wind's silence. With a small satchel of supplies and her loyal companion, a clever fox named Finn, she ventured into the enchanted forest that bordered Mistwood. The forest was alive with vibrant colors and strange sounds, but the deeper Elara and Finn went, the denser the forest became. After hours of walking, they came across a clearing with an ancient, towering oak tree. At the base of the tree was a gnarled old man, his face hidden beneath a wide-brimmed hat. He was carving runes into the earth with a wooden staff. "Greetings, traveler," the old man said without looking up. "I am Orin, the keeper of the ancient whispers. What brings you to this part of the forest?" Elara introduced herself and explained the plight of the Whispering Wind. Orin listened intently and then nodded. "To restore the Whispering Wind, you must retrieve 3 lost tokens of its essence that were scattered long ago: a feather of the sky bird, a drop of the moon's tears, and a petal from the star blossom. These tokens hold the key to the wind's voice." Elara and Finn set off to find the first token, the feather of the sky bird. They climbed to the highest peak in the enchanted forest, where the sky bird was said to dwell. The bird was a magnificent creature with feathers like cascading rainbows. After a delicate negotiation, the sky bird agreed to give up one of its feathers in exchange for a promise: Elara must help its fledglings learn to fly. With the feather in hand, Elara and Finn proceeded to find the second token, a drop of the moon's tears. They reached a serene, silver lake under the light of the full moon. The moon's tears were said to fall from the sky into the lake once every 100 years. Elara waited patiently until a single drop fell into the water. She gently collected it in a vial, as the moon's reflection smiled down upon her. For the final token, the petal from the star blossom, they ventured to the heart of the forest, where a mystical garden bloomed under starlight. The star blossom was a rare flower that only bloomed under the most brilliant of stars. Elara carefully picked a single petal, ensuring that the flower remained intact and healthy. With all 3 tokens in her possession, Elara and Finn returned to the ancient oak tree where Orin awaited them. She presented the feather, the drop of moonlight, and the petal, and Orin began to weave them together with a spell. As Orin completed the spell, a soft, melodious whisper began to flow through the forest. The Whispering Wind had returned, its voice carrying stories and secrets once more. The breeze picked up, weaving through Mistwood and bringing with it a renewed sense of wonder and guidance. The villagers of Mistwood rejoiced as the Whispering Wind's voice returned, guiding them with its gentle murmurs. Elara's bravery and perseverance became legendary, and she was honored as the village's heroine. And so, Mistwood thrived once more under the watchful embrace of the Whispering Wind, and Elara's story became a cherished tale of courage and hope, reminding all who heard it that even the quietest whispers hold great power. Once upon a time, in a kingdom where the night sky was always filled with twinkling stars, there lived a young boy named Finn. Finn was an orphan, living in a small village at the edge of a vast forest. He was a kind-hearted boy, always helping his neighbors and caring for the animals in the village. But Finn had one wish that he kept close to his heart: he wished to see his parents again, even if only in a dream. One night, as Finn lay in his little bed under the thatched roof of his cottage, he saw a bright light outside his window. It was so bright that it lit up the entire room, and Finn, curious as always, jumped out of bed to see what it was. When he looked out the window, he saw the most beautiful butterfly he had ever seen. Its wings were made of pure starlight, shimmering with every color of the rainbow. The butterfly fluttered gently outside the window, as if waiting for Finn. Without thinking, Finn opened the window, and the butterfly flew into his room, filling it with a soft, warm glow. "Hello, Finn," the butterfly said in a voice as soft as the night breeze. "I am Luna, the starlight butterfly. I have come to grant you a wish." Finn was amazed. "You can grant wishes?" he asked, his eyes wide with wonder. Luna nodded. "Yes, but only one wish. And it must come from the purest part of your heart." Finn thought about his wish. He had always wanted to see his parents again, but he knew they were in a place far beyond his reach. Still, the thought of seeing them, even for a moment, filled his heart with hope. "I wish to see my parents," Finn said softly. "I miss them so much." Luna fluttered her wings, and the room filled with a soft, silver light. "Your wish is a noble one, Finn. To grant it, I must take you on a journey to the Valley of Dreams, where all wishes are born. But be warned, the journey is not easy, and you must be brave." Finn nodded, determination in his eyes. "I'm ready." With a gentle flap of her wings, Luna lifted Finn into the air. Together, they flew out of the cottage and up into the night sky. The village below grew smaller and smaller as they soared higher, the stars twinkling all around them like diamonds. As they flew, Luna told Finn about the Valley of Dreams. "It is a place where all dreams and wishes come true," she explained. "But to reach it, you must pass through 3 challenges, each one testing the strength of your heart." After what felt like hours, they reached the first challenge. Below them was a vast sea, its waters dark and churning. In the middle of the sea was a small island, and on the island stood a tall, shadowy figure. "This is the Sea of Sorrows," Luna said. "The figure you see is the guardian of grief. He will try to make you give up by reminding you of all your sadness and loss. But you must hold on to your hope." Finn took a deep breath and nodded. He felt a shiver run down his spine as they descended to the island. The guardian of grief was a towering figure, his eyes dark and cold. "Why do you seek to see your parents, child?" the guardian asked in a voice that echoed like thunder. "They are gone, and nothing can bring them back. Your wish is hopeless." Finn felt a pang of sadness, but he remembered Luna's words. "I know they are gone," Finn replied, his voice steady. "But my love for them is still strong. My wish is not to change the past, but to find peace in my heart." The guardian of grief stared at Finn for a long moment. Then, slowly, he bowed his head. "Your heart is strong, young one," he said. "You may pass." With that, the guardian faded away, and the sea calmed. Luna and Finn continued their journey, flying across the now peaceful waters. The second challenge awaited them in a dark forest. The trees were tall and twisted, their branches reaching out like claws. As they flew deeper into the forest, the air grew colder, and Finn could feel fear creeping into his heart. "This is the forest of fear," Luna whispered. "Here, the shadows of your deepest fears will try to trap you. But remember, fear is only as strong as you let it be." As they moved forward, the shadows around them began to take shape. Finn saw figures emerging from the darkness, things that had always frightened him. He saw wolves with glowing eyes, towering monsters with sharp teeth, and even the lonely nights he had spent wishing for his parents. Finn's heart pounded in his chest, but he took a deep breath and remembered what Luna had told him. "These are just shadows," he told himself. "They can't hurt me unless I let them." With that thought, Finn faced the shadows head-on. He walked toward the wolves, and as he did, they began to fade. The monsters disappeared, and the darkness lifted. The forest was no longer frightening, it was just a quiet, peaceful place. You have faced your fears and overcome them, Luna said, her voice filled with pride. You are truly brave, Finn. Finally, they reached the third challenge, a towering mountain that reached up into the clouds. At the top of the mountain was the entrance to the Valley of Dreams. This is the Mountain of Doubt, Luna explained. The climb is steep and difficult. Doubt will try to weigh you down, making you question yourself. But if you believe in your wish, you will reach the top. Finn looked up at the mountain, feeling its immense height. But he also felt the strength of his wish guiding him. He started to climb, gripping the rocks tightly as he made his way up. The higher he climbed, the heavier the doubt became. He heard voices whispering in his ear, telling him he wasn't strong enough, that he should turn back. But Finn kept climbing, each step fueled by the love he had for his parents and his desire to see them once more. He knew that this wish was more than just for himself, it was to heal the ache in his heart and to honor the memory of his parents. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Finn reached the top of the mountain. He stood before the entrance to the Valley of Dreams, exhausted but filled with a sense of accomplishment. You did it, Finn, Luna said, landing beside him. You believed in yourself, and now your wish will come true. Finn stepped into the Valley of Dreams, and as he did, he found himself standing in a beautiful meadow filled with soft, golden light. In the distance, he saw two familiar figures, a man and a woman, smiling warmly at him. Mom? Dad? Finn whispered, tears filling his eyes. The figures nodded and opened their arms, and Finn ran to them, feeling their warm embrace. The moment was filled with love and peace, and Finn felt all the pain and sadness in his heart melt away. We are always with you, Finn, his mother said softly. Even when you can't see us, we are in your heart. Be brave and kind, just as you have always been, his father added. We are so proud of you. Finn nodded, knowing that these words would stay with him forever. The light around them began to fade, and Finn felt himself being gently pulled back. When he opened his eyes, he was back in his little cottage, with Luna fluttering beside him. The room was filled with the soft glow of the butterfly's wings. Thank you, Luna, Finn said, his heart full of gratitude. You are welcome, Finn, Luna replied. Remember, the strength to overcome any challenge lies within your heart. That is the true magic. With that, Luna fluttered out of the window and disappeared into the night sky, leaving Finn with a heart full of peace and a memory that would last a lifetime. From that night on, Finn knew that he could face any challenge, and that his parents' love would always be with him, guiding him through even the darkest times. The end. Once upon a time, in a land far beyond the tallest mountains and deepest forests, there was a kingdom named Eloria. Eloria was a place of wondrous magic and marvelous creatures, where every tree and river seemed to hum with enchantment. In this kingdom, there was a humble village called Willowbrook. It was known for its picturesque cottages, fragrant gardens, and a large, ancient willow tree in the village square. The tree was believed to be magical, its branches stretching high into the sky, and its roots delving deep into the earth, guarding the village's secrets and wishes. Among the villagers was a young girl named Lila. She was known for her kind heart and curious nature. Lila had a special bond with the willow tree, often spending her afternoons reading under its shade or whispering her dreams to its ancient bark. She had always believed that the tree had a secret, a hidden power waiting to be discovered. One crisp autumn morning, as Lila was tending to her garden, a peculiar sight caught her eye. A small, iridescent butterfly with wings like stained glass fluttered around her. It landed on her shoulder, and to her astonishment, it spoke in a gentle, melodic voice. Lila, said the butterfly, the time has come for you to embark on a journey. The willow tree has chosen you. Lila's eyes widened. A journey? Where to? To the enchanted glade, the butterfly replied. There, you will find the key to a great mystery that has long been hidden from Eloria. With a mix of excitement and apprehension, Lila agreed to the adventure. She packed a small satchel with essentials, a map, a flask of water, some bread, and her favorite book, and set off towards the heart of the forest. The path to the enchanted glade was winding and lush, filled with vibrant flowers and curious creatures. Lila followed the butterfly, which flitted ahead, leading the way through the dense foliage. The deeper she ventured, the more magical the forest became. The trees glowed with a soft, ethereal light, and the air was filled with the melody of unseen songbirds. After hours of walking, they arrived at a clearing bathed in silver moonlight. At the center of the glade stood a crystal-clear pond, its waters shimmering like liquid stars. On the opposite shore was a small, ornate chest, half buried in the moss. The butterfly hovered over the chest. "Open it," it urged. Lila approached the chest with a sense of wonder. She carefully lifted the lid, revealing a delicate golden key nestled inside. The key was intricately carved with symbols and patterns that seemed to shift and dance in the light. The key to what? Lila wondered aloud. The key to unlocking the willow tree's greatest secret, the butterfly explained. You must return to Willowbrook and use this key to unlock the hidden chamber within the tree. With the golden key safely in her possession, Lila retraced her steps back to Willowbrook. As she approached the village, the sun was setting, casting a warm, golden glow over the landscape. The villagers gathered in the square as they always did for the evening's festivities. Lila's return was met with cheers and curiosity as she made her way to the willow tree. She carefully inserted the golden key into a hidden lock she had discovered earlier but never understood. With a soft click, the willow tree's trunk opened like a secret door, revealing a hidden chamber within. Inside, the chamber was filled with glowing crystals and ancient scrolls. At the center was a pedestal with an intricately carved book. Lila picked up the book and opened it. The pages were filled with tales of old, stories of magic and wonder that had been forgotten over the ages. It was a book of knowledge and wisdom, a treasure trove of Eloria's lost heritage. As Lila read the book, she realized that the willow tree was a guardian of ancient magic, preserving the kingdom's history and secrets for generations. By rediscovering the book, she had not only unlocked the tree's secret but also rejuvenated the village's connection to its magical past. From that day on, the villagers of Willowbrook celebrated their newfound knowledge and the magic that had always been a part of their lives. Lila continued to visit the willow tree, now with a deeper understanding of its power and a sense of responsibility to preserve its legacy. And so, the tale of Lila and the Enchanted Glade became a cherished story in Eloria, passed down through the generations. It reminded everyone that magic was not just in the extraordinary, but in the simple moments of wonder and discovery that connected them to their past and to each other. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a land where the sky kissed the mountains and rivers sang lullabies to the trees, there was a kingdom known as Eldoria. This enchanting realm was home to magical creatures, talking animals, and a wise and kind queen named Seraphina. Queen Seraphina ruled Eldoria with a gentle heart and a sharp mind. Under her reign, the kingdom flourished. Flowers bloomed in endless meadows, forests thrived with vibrant life, and the people of Eldoria were always happy and content. But the queen had a secret, a wish she had kept close to her heart for many years. She longed to have a child, but despite all the magic in Eldoria, she remained childless. One warm, golden afternoon, as Seraphina walked through her palace garden, a soft, melodic voice called out to her. Turning towards the sound, she saw a shimmering figure emerge from the sunlight, a fairy with wings that sparkled like diamonds and eyes that gleamed with kindness. "Your Majesty," said the fairy, bowing gracefully, "I am Alara, the Fairy of Wishes. I have heard your heart's deepest desire and I am here to help." Queen Seraphina's eyes widened in surprise and hope. "Can you truly grant my wish, Alara?" The fairy smiled. "Yes, but the magic required is rare and potent. It will need a special ingredient, a tear from the heart of the enchanted forest, shed by a creature of pure joy." Determined to fulfill her wish, Queen Seraphina set out on a journey to the enchanted forest, accompanied by her loyal guard, Sir Cedric. The forest was a mystical place, filled with ancient trees whose leaves whispered secrets and paths that twisted and turned in ways that defied logic. After days of searching, they stumbled upon a clearing where a beautiful unicorn stood, its coat shimmering with every color of the rainbow. The unicorn, named Luna, was a creature of pure joy, her laughter ringing like the sweetest melody. Seraphina approached Luna with a gentle smile. "Dear Luna, I seek a tear of pure joy to fulfill a wish close to my heart. Will you help me?" Luna's eyes twinkled with understanding. "I will help you, Queen Seraphina, for I know your heart is true. But to shed a tear of joy, I must be reminded of the happiest moment in my life." Queen Seraphina and Sir Cedric shared stories of love, friendship, and bravery with Luna, each tale more uplifting than the last. As they spoke of the joys and wonders of the world, Luna's heart swelled with happiness until a single, glistening tear rolled down her cheek. The queen carefully collected the tear in a crystal vial, thanking Luna with all her heart. With the precious tear in hand, they returned to Eldoria, where Elara awaited them. "Well done, Your Majesty," Elara said, her wings fluttering with excitement. She took the vial and chanted an ancient spell, the air around her shimmering with magic. As the spell reached its peak, a brilliant light enveloped Queen Seraphina, and when it faded, she felt a warm, gentle presence within her. Months passed, and Eldoria prepared for a joyous event. On a crisp, starry night, the kingdom celebrated the birth of Princess Eliana, a child of pure magic and love. Her laughter was like the tinkling of fairy bells, and her smile brought light to the darkest corners of the world. Princess Eliana grew up surrounded by love and wonder, her magical abilities blossoming with each passing year. She became a beacon of hope and happiness for the people of Eldoria, just as her mother had always dreamed. And so, the kingdom of Eldoria continued to thrive, blessed by the magic of the Fairy of Wishes and the pure joy of a unicorn's tear. Queen Seraphina's wish had come true, and she and her daughter lived happily ever after, spreading love and light throughout the land. Once upon a time, in a small village nestled at the foot of a grand mountain, there lived a kind girl named Elara. Elara was known throughout the village for her gentle heart and her bright smile. She loved helping others, especially the elderly and the children, and always found joy in the simplest things, like the song of a bird or the sight of a rainbow after the rain. But despite her happy nature, Elara had one deep wish in her heart. She wished to bring her village more prosperity. The villagers worked hard every day, but the harvests were often meager, and the winters were harsh. Elara dreamed of a day when no one would go hungry, and everyone could live comfortably. One day, while wandering through the woods on the edge of the village, Elara discovered an old well. The well was hidden under a thick cover of ivy, and its stones were worn and covered in moss. As Elara approached the well, she felt a strange but gentle warmth radiating from it. Curious, she leaned over the edge and looked down into the darkness. To her surprise, she heard a soft, melodious voice echoing from the depths of the well. "Who comes to the wishful well?" the voice asked, gentle and kind. Startled, Elara stepped back, but her curiosity quickly overcame her fear. "My name is Elara," she replied, her voice steady. "I didn't know this was a wishing well." The voice chuckled softly. "Not just any wishing well, dear Elara. I am the guardian of wishes, and I can grant one true wish to those with a pure heart." Elara's eyes widened in amazement. She had heard of magical wells in stories, but she never thought she would find one herself. She thought carefully about what she wanted most and decided that this was her chance to help her village. "I wish for my village to be prosperous," Elara said earnestly. "I want everyone to have enough food, warmth, and happiness." The well was silent for a moment, as if considering her wish. Then the voice spoke again, this time with a note of approval. "Your wish is selfless and kind, Elara. But to grant it, you must first complete a task. The magic that can bring prosperity to your village is hidden within the heart of the mountain. You must climb the mountain and find the crystal of abundance. Only then will your wish come true." Elara nodded, determination shining in her eyes. "I will do it," she said. "For my village, I will climb the mountain and find the crystal." The voice of the well faded, and Elara knew it was time to begin her journey. Without wasting any time, she set off toward the mountain, her heart filled with hope. The path up the mountain was steep and challenging, but Alara was strong and determined. She climbed higher and higher, through dense forests and rocky slopes, until she reached a high plateau where the air was crisp and cold. As Alara continued her ascent, she encountered her first obstacle. A deep chasm blocked her path, and there was no bridge or way around it. Alara stood at the edge, looking down into the abyss, wondering how she would cross. Suddenly, a large, golden eagle appeared and landed beside her. The eagle was majestic, with bright eyes that sparkled with wisdom. "You are brave to come this far," the eagle said in a deep, reassuring voice. "I am the guardian of courage. To cross this chasm, you must trust in yourself and take a leap of faith." Alara looked at the eagle, then at the chasm. It seemed impossible, but she knew she had to try. With a deep breath, she stepped back, ran forward, and leaped into the air. To her astonishment, the air beneath her seemed to solidify, creating an invisible bridge. Alara landed safely on the other side, her heart pounding with relief. "Well done, Alara," the eagle called from across the chasm. "Your courage has carried you far. Continue your journey with the same bravery." Alara thanked the eagle and continued up the mountain. Soon, she reached a dense, dark forest where the trees were so tall and thick that they blocked out the sunlight. As she made her way through the forest, she began to feel doubt creeping into her heart. The path was confusing, and every turn seemed to lead to a dead end. It was then that she heard a soft, rustling sound. A small, silver fox appeared, its fur shimmering in the dim light of the forest. "Hello, Alara," the fox said with a gentle voice. "I am the guardian of wisdom. The path you seek is hidden, but if you trust your instincts and look within, you will find your way." Alara closed her eyes and took a deep breath, calming her mind. She let go of her doubts and fears and focused on the warmth in her heart, the same warmth she felt when she helped others. When she opened her eyes, the path through the forest became clear, as if the trees themselves were guiding her. The silver fox nodded in approval. "You have found the wisdom within you. Follow this path, and you will reach your destination." Alara thanked the fox and continued on, her steps now sure and confident. After many hours of walking, she finally reached the peak of the mountain. There, in a small cave, she found the crystal of abundance. The crystal was large and beautiful, glowing with a soft, golden light that filled the cave with warmth. Alara carefully picked up the crystal, feeling its magic flow through her. As she held it, she knew that this crystal would bring prosperity to her village, just as she had wished. With the crystal in hand, Alara made her way back down the mountain. The journey was long, but she was no longer afraid or uncertain. She had faced her challenges with courage and wisdom, and now she was returning with the gift that would change her village forever. When Alara reached the village, she placed the crystal of abundance at the center of the town square. Immediately, the crystal began to glow brightly, and its light spread throughout the village. The crops in the fields grew tall and healthy, the wells filled with fresh, clean water, and the air was filled with the scent of blooming flowers. The villagers, who had gathered around to watch, cheered with joy and amazement. From that day on, Alara's village prospered. No one went hungry, and the winters were no longer harsh. The villagers lived happily, knowing that their lives had been touched by magic. Alara never forgot the lessons she had learned on her journey up the mountain. She knew that courage, wisdom, and a kind heart could overcome any challenge. And every time she looked at the crystal of abundance, she was reminded of the day she made her wish come true. As for the wishful well, it remained hidden in the woods, waiting for the next pure-hearted soul to find it and embark on a journey of their own. The end. In a lush, green valley bordered by towering mountains, there was a quaint village known as Rivermist. This village was famous for its serene beauty and the crystal-clear river that wound through it. The villagers lived simple, happy lives, and everything seemed perfect, except for one thing: the village was divided by a great chasm that had always been too wide to cross. For generations, the villagers had dreamed of building a bridge across the chasm, but no matter how hard they tried, the task always seemed impossible. The chasm was so deep and so wide that even the most skilled builders and engineers could not come up with a solution. One evening, as the moonlight bathed the village in a silvery glow, a mysterious traveler arrived. The traveler was cloaked in a shimmering robe and wore a silver mask that hid their face. The villagers gathered around, curious and hopeful. The traveler introduced themselves as Lyric, a wanderer who had heard of Rivermist's plight. "I have come to help you build your bridge," Lyric said. "But first, you must complete a task." The villagers were intrigued. "What task?" they asked eagerly. Lyric smiled and replied, "You must each bring something that represents your deepest wish. Place these items at the edge of the chasm by the next full moon, and the magic will reveal itself." The villagers were puzzled but determined. They set out to find objects that represented their greatest wishes. Some brought tokens of love and family, others brought symbols of prosperity and health. As the full moon approached, the villagers gathered their items and placed them carefully at the edge of the chasm. When the full moon rose high in the sky, Lyric returned. With a graceful wave of their hand, Lyric began to chant in an ancient language. The moonlight seemed to respond, glowing brighter and brighter until it shone directly over the chasm. As the villagers watched in awe, the moonlight began to take shape. The light coalesced into a shimmering, translucent bridge that spanned the chasm. It was as if the moon itself had reached down to touch the ground, creating a path of light and magic. Lyric turned to the amazed villagers and said, "The bridge has been built with the power of your wishes and the magic of the moon. It will be strong and enduring as long as the wishes are kept alive in your hearts." The villagers eagerly crossed the moonlit bridge, marveling at its beauty and strength. It was as if they were walking on a pathway of dreams. On the other side of the chasm, they found a lush, untouched land that was filled with abundant resources and breathtaking landscapes. The villagers made the new land their own, and soon Rivermist became a thriving, united community. The bridge became a symbol of their shared dreams and the power of hope and unity. It was said that on nights when the moon was full, the bridge would shine even brighter, reminding the villagers of the magic they had created together. Lyric, having fulfilled their promise, quietly disappeared into the night, leaving behind only a trail of moonlight. The villagers never saw Lyric again, but they remembered the traveler with gratitude and wonder. As years passed, the tale of the moonlit bridge was told and retold, becoming a cherished legend in Rivermist. The bridge remained a testament to the villagers' dreams and the magic that can happen when people come together with hope and determination. And so, Rivermist flourished, with the moonlit bridge standing as a glowing reminder of the wonders that can be achieved when hearts are united and wishes are shared. The end. Once upon a time, in a serene valley bordered by rolling hills and lush forests, lay a charming village called Starhaven. Starhaven was renowned for its breathtaking moonlit meadow, a place where flowers glowed softly under the moonlight, creating a magical and enchanting scene each night. In this village lived a young girl named Elara. Elara was known for her kindness and her love for the moonlit meadow. Every evening, she would visit the meadow to help the glowing flowers bloom and to listen to the stories whispered by the gentle breeze. Her greatest wish was to protect the meadow's magic and ensure it remained a place of wonder and peace. One day, as the full moon approached, a mysterious fog began to creep into the valley. The once vibrant flowers in the moonlit meadow began to wilt, and the magical glow that had always been so bright started to fade. Elara was deeply worried. She knew something was wrong. Determined to save the moonlit meadow, Elara set off on a quest to find the source of the fog. She packed a small bag with essentials, including a lantern, a map, and a few snacks, and set out into the foggy night. Her loyal dog, Max, followed closely by her side. As they ventured through the forest, the fog grew thicker, and the trees loomed ominously. Elara and Max soon came across an old, twisted tree with a door carved into its trunk. The door was slightly ajar, and a soft light flickered from within. Curious and brave, Elara pushed the door open and entered the hollow tree. Inside, she found a cozy room lit by lanterns and filled with magical trinkets. Sitting at a wooden table was a kindly old wizard named Alden, who was busy mixing potions. "Welcome, Ilara," Alden said with a warm smile. "I've been expecting you." Ilara was surprised. "You know my name?" Alden nodded. "Yes, the magic of the moonlit meadow has reached me. The fog that has covered your village is the work of a mischievous spirit who seeks to steal the meadow's magic for herself. Her name is Lysandra." Ilara's heart sank. "How can we stop her?" Alden handed Ilara a small, silver pendant. "This pendant holds the power to reveal the true intentions of anyone who wears it. Use it to find Lysandra and convince her to restore the meadow's magic." Thanking Alden, Ilara and Max left the tree and continued their journey. With the pendant in hand, they followed the trail of fog through the forest. After a while, they arrived at a hidden glade where Lysandra, a shadowy figure with twinkling eyes, was attempting to harness the meadow's magic. Lysandra was startled to see Ilara and Max. "What are you doing here?" she demanded. Ilara stepped forward, holding the pendant. "I'm here to ask you to return the magic of the moonlit meadow. It's a special place for everyone in our village, and it needs its light to stay alive." Lysandra hesitated, looking at the pendant. The magic within it revealed her true feelings. She was not truly wicked but rather lonely and seeking attention. "I didn't mean to harm anyone," Lysandra admitted. "I only wanted to share the magic with myself, feeling forgotten and unappreciated." Ilara's heart softened. "You don't have to take the magic away. You can be a part of it and help us protect it." Touched by Ilara's kindness, Lysandra agreed. Together, they worked to clear the fog and restore the meadow's glow. Lysandra used her magic to bring back the vibrant flowers and enhance the meadow's beauty. As the moonlight bathed the meadow once more, the flowers bloomed brightly, and the glow returned, more magnificent than ever. The villagers of Starhaven celebrated the restoration of their beloved meadow, and Lysandra was welcomed with open arms. From that day forward, Lysandra became a guardian of the moonlit meadow, working alongside Ilara and the villagers to keep the magic alive. The meadow flourished, and the bond between the villagers and the spirit grew strong. Ilara's bravery and compassion had not only saved the moonlit meadow but also brought a new friend into their lives. And so, Starhaven continued to shine under the light of the full moon, a place of wonder, unity, and enduring magic. And they all lived happily ever after. I hope you enjoyed this fairy tale. The moonlit garden. In a tranquil village surrounded by rolling hills and wildflower meadows, there was a secluded garden known only to a few. This garden was enchanted, blooming with flowers that sparkled in moonlight and trees that whispered secrets to those who listened. The garden belonged to an old woman named Eloan, who was known as the Moonlit Gardener. Eloan had a special gift. Each night, when the moon was full, she would tend to her garden, and her touch would make the flowers glow brighter. The villagers often wondered about the magical beauty of the garden but never dared to enter, for Eloan was known to be very private and mysterious. The curious child. One day, a curious little girl named Lily, who had always been fascinated by the tales of the moonlit garden, decided to explore. Lily was a kind-hearted child with a deep sense of wonder. She had heard the stories of Eloan's magical garden and longed to see it for herself. One evening, as the moon began to rise, Lily quietly slipped away from her home and made her way to the edge of the garden. The gate was covered in vines and seemed to be locked, but Lily noticed a small, shimmering key hanging on a nearby tree branch. With a sense of adventure, she took the key and unlocked the gate. The enchanted garden. As Lily stepped into the garden, she was greeted by a sight of breathtaking beauty. Flowers of every color and shape glowed softly, casting a magical light that danced across the garden. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming petals and the gentle hum of bees. Trees with golden leaves swayed rhythmically, and the entire garden seemed to be alive with enchantment. In the center of the garden stood a grand fountain with water that shimmered like liquid stardust. Lily approached the fountain and saw Eloan sitting beside it, humming a lullaby. Eloan looked up and smiled warmly at Lily. "Welcome, dear child. I've been expecting you." A special request. Lily, though awestruck, found her voice and asked, "Why do you tend this magical garden every night?" Eloan's eyes twinkled with wisdom as she answered, "This garden is a place where dreams and magic come to life. It's a gift that helps people find their own magic within. But now, I need your help." Lily's eyes widened in curiosity. "What can I do to help?" Eloan explained that the garden's magic was fading, and only a special flower called the moon blossom, which bloomed once every 100 years, could restore its power. The moon blossom was hidden deep in the heart of the garden, guarded by an ancient enchantment. The quest for the moon blossom with a sense of purpose, Lily embarked on the quest to find the moon blossom. Guided by the moonlight and the whispers of the trees, she ventured deeper into the garden. Along the way, she encountered a series of gentle challenges. First, she crossed a bridge made of silver mist. To pass, she needed to answer a riddle spoken by the river. "I can be cracked, made, told, and played. What am I?" Lily thought for a moment and replied, "A joke." The mist parted, allowing her to continue. Next, she navigated through a maze of shimmering hedges. The walls of the maze moved, but Lily remembered Eloan's advice to trust her heart. She followed her instincts, and the maze opened up to reveal a path to the heart of the garden. The moonblossom's revelation at the center of the garden, in a glade bathed in moonlight, Lily found the moonblossom. The flower was unlike anything she had ever seen. Its petals were a silvery white, and it glowed with a soft, pulsating light. As she reached out to touch it, the moonblossom responded by releasing a gentle, melodious chime. Lily carefully picked the moonblossom and returned to Eloan. The moment the flower was placed in the fountain, the garden was bathed in a radiant glow. The flowers sparkled brighter, and the trees' whispers became a harmonious symphony. A new guardian Eloan thanked Lily for her bravery and kindness. "You have restored the garden's magic, and in doing so, you have shown that the true magic lies within a pure and courageous heart." Eloan then handed Lily a small, enchanted seed. "Plant this in your own garden. It will bloom with a flower that carries the magic of the moonlit garden. Whenever you need guidance or comfort, it will be there for you." With a heart full of joy and a newfound sense of wonder, Lily returned to her village. She planted the seed in her own garden, and in time, it grew into a beautiful flower that shone with a gentle light. The legacy of the moonlit garden, Lily's garden, became a place of enchantment and inspiration, just like Eloan's. The villagers marveled at the magical flower and often visited to experience its calming and uplifting aura. And though Eloan's garden remained a mystery, Lily carried its magic within her, always reminding others that the greatest magic is found in the courage and kindness of a true heart. And so, the tale of the moonlit garden and the brave little girl who restored its magic was passed down through generations, inspiring all who heard it to seek the magic within themselves. The Whispering Willow. Once upon a time, in a charming village nestled by the edge of a vast, enchanted forest, stood an ancient willow tree known as the Whispering Willow. The villagers believed that the tree could communicate with the spirits of nature and grant wisdom to those who sought its counsel. The tree was adorned with sparkling flowers that glowed softly in the moonlight, and its branches swayed even when there was no wind, as if whispering secrets to those who listened closely. In this village lived a kind-hearted young girl named Elara. Elara had a special bond with the forest. She often wandered its paths, talking to the animals and caring for the plants. One day, a mysterious fog rolled into the village, casting an eerie silence over the land. The fog brought with it an unsettling chill, and the villagers soon discovered that their crops were withering and their animals were falling ill. The call for help desperate to save her village, Elara decided to visit the Whispering Willow, hoping it could provide a solution to the village's troubles. Guided by the dim light of the glowing flowers, Elara made her way to the tree. The ancient willow's branches seemed to reach out to her as she approached. As she stood before the tree, Elara spoke softly, "Great Whispering Willow, my village is suffering. Please, tell me how I can help." The tree's leaves rustled, and a gentle voice, like a soothing breeze, answered, "To restore the balance, you must embark on a journey to find the Heartstone, a magical gem that lies hidden within the forest. Only the Heartstone can lift the fog and heal the land." The enchanted quest. The Whispering Willow gave Elara a shimmering pendant, saying, "This pendant will guide you to the Heartstone. But beware, the forest is filled with challenges that will test your courage and heart. With the pendant clutched tightly, Elara set off into the forest. The pendant glowed softly, casting a warm light as she ventured deeper. The forest was filled with enchanting sights, glowing mushrooms, talking animals, and streams that sang sweet melodies. Yet, the fog loomed, making everything seem distant and shadowy. Her first challenge was a maze of tangled vines. The vines twisted and shifted, trying to confuse her. Remembering the Whispering Willow's advice to trust her heart, Elara focused on the pendant's light. It guided her through the maze, and she emerged into a clearing. The trials of the Heartstone in the clearing stood a majestic fox named Aurelius. Aurelius, with fur as silver as moonlight, guarded the entrance to the Heartstone's resting place. He spoke in riddles, testing Elara's wisdom and patience. Elara answered each riddle with sincerity and clarity, and Aurelius granted her passage. Next, Elara reached a shimmering lake. At the center of the lake, on a small island, lay the Heartstone, glowing with a warm, golden light. To reach the island, she had to cross a bridge made of ethereal light. The bridge was delicate and wobbled with each step. As she crossed, the fog tried to push her off balance, but Elara remained focused, guided by the pendant's steady glow. The Heartstone's power. When Elara reached the Heartstone, she could feel its powerful energy. She carefully picked it up and felt a surge of warmth and light flow through her. With the Heartstone in hand, she made her way back through the forest, using the pendant to navigate. As Elara emerged from the forest and approached her village, she held the Heartstone high. The gem's light pierced through the fog, dissipating it and restoring the vibrant colors of the land. The crops began to flourish, and the animals regained their strength. The villagers rejoiced and celebrated Elara's bravery and determination. They gathered around the Whispering Willow to thank it for guiding Elara on her quest. The tree's branches swayed with a gentle rustle, as if whispering its own gratitude. A lasting legacy. Elara's adventure became a cherished story in the village. The Whispering Willow continued to stand as a symbol of wisdom and hope, and the Heartstone was placed in a special grove as a reminder of the courage and unity that saved the village. And so, the village thrived, and Elara's name became synonymous with bravery and kindness. The enchanted forest remained a place of magic and wonder, forever blessed by the Heartstone and the Whispering Willow's gentle whispers. In a quaint seaside village known for its shimmering sands and gentle waves, there was a legend about a magical starfish that lived in the deepest part of the ocean. This starfish was said to have the power to grant one heartfelt wish to anyone who proved their kindness and courage. One day, a young boy named Leo, who lived in the village, found his world turned upside down. His beloved dog, Max, had fallen ill and no remedy seemed to work. Leo had heard the old tales of the magical starfish and decided to seek it out in hopes of saving his friend. With a determined heart, Leo set out for the ocean just as the sun began to set. He navigated through the rocky shoreline and boarded a small boat that his father had built. As the boat glided into the open sea, the sky turned a beautiful shade of twilight, and the first stars began to twinkle. Leo sailed far beyond the village, guided only by the shimmering sea and the stories of the magical starfish. As night fell, the water beneath him began to glow with a soft, ethereal light. Leo knew he was close. He anchored his boat and dove into the water, swimming toward the mysterious light. As he descended into the depths of the ocean, the light grew brighter, revealing an underwater kingdom of colorful coral and schools of radiant fish. At the heart of this magical realm, Leo spotted the starfish resting on a bed of golden seaweed. Its 5 arms sparkled with hues of blue, green, and purple. "Hello," Leo called out, his voice bubbling through the water. "I've come to find the starfish and make a wish. My dog Max is very ill, and I need your help." The starfish stirred, its eyes twinkling with a gentle light. To receive the magic of the starfish, you must first prove your kindness and bravery. There are 3 tasks you must complete. Leo nodded eagerly. "I will do whatever it takes." The first task was to help a group of sea turtles that had become entangled in a mass of discarded fishing nets. Leo swam swiftly to their aid, carefully cutting away the nets and freeing the turtles. the grateful turtles swam in circles around him, guiding him with their gentle nudges toward the next task. The second task was to find a lost pearl that had been stolen by a mischievous octopus. The octopus, although playful, was known for hiding things in tricky places. Leo followed the octopus's playful movements and discovered the pearl nestled in a hidden cave. He returned the pearl to the grateful octopus, who rewarded him with a glowing seashell as a token of thanks. For the final task, Leo had to navigate through a dark underwater cavern filled with swirling currents and shadowy figures. With the light from the glowing seashell and the courage in his heart, Leo ventured through the cavern, using his wits to avoid the dangers and find the exit. When he emerged from the cavern, he saw the starfish waiting for him with a warm, welcoming glow. You have completed the tasks with bravery and kindness. Your wish shall now be granted. The starfish waved its arms, and a soft, magical light enveloped Leo. The light surged through the ocean and traveled back to the shore where Max lay. As the light touched Max, his strength returned, and he stood up, wagging his tail and barking joyfully. Leo returned to the village, where he was greeted with cheers and celebration. Max was healthy and full of life once more, and the villagers marveled at Leo's bravery and the magic of the starfish. The starfish continued to dwell in its underwater kingdom, its magic a reminder of the power of kindness and courage. And whenever the village children looked out at the sea, they remembered the tale of Leo and the starfish's secret, knowing that even in the deepest depths, magic awaited those who truly believed. Once upon a time, in a kingdom nestled between rolling hills and emerald forests, there was a magical village known as Willowbrook. The villagers lived in harmony with nature, and their days were filled with laughter, song, and the occasional mischief of enchanted woodland creatures. In the heart of Willowbrook stood a grand, ancient oak tree named Elder Oak. It was said that Elder Oak had witnessed the rise and fall of many generations and that it held the wisdom of the ages within its gnarled branches. But as wise as Elder Oak was, it had one secret: it was the guardian of a magical crystal known as the Heart of the Forest. The Heart of the Forest was a glowing, emerald-green gem that had the power to bring peace and prosperity to the land. However, it was also said that if the crystal were ever stolen, a dark curse would befall the kingdom. To protect it, Elder Oak had always kept the crystal hidden deep within its trunk, accessible only to those with pure hearts. One crisp autumn morning, a young girl named Alara woke to find a strange sight outside her cottage. An enormous, swirling mist had settled over the village, and the usually cheerful woodland creatures were nowhere to be seen. Alarmed, Alara decided to investigate. She grabbed her cloak, a basket of berries, and set off towards Elder Oak. As Alara approached the ancient tree, she noticed that the mist grew thicker, and the branches of Elder Oak seemed to tremble. The heart of the tree had dimmed, and it was clear that something was terribly wrong. Determined to help, Alara touched the trunk gently and whispered, "Elder Oak, what has happened?" From within the tree, a soft, sorrowful voice replied, "The heart of the forest has been stolen, and the land is growing darker by the minute. Only a true-hearted soul can retrieve it and restore balance." Alara felt a chill run down her spine, but she nodded resolutely. "I will find it. Please, tell me where to start." Elder Oak's voice was barely a whisper. "Follow the path through the mist. It will lead you to the Shadow Realm. There, you will find the lair of the thief. Beware, for darkness can cloud even the purest of hearts." With a deep breath, Alara ventured into the swirling mist. As she walked, the world around her grew darker and more twisted. Trees seemed to twist into eerie shapes, and shadows whispered unsettling secrets. But Alara pressed on, guided by a faint, glowing light that grew stronger with each step. Finally, she arrived at a cavern entrance shrouded in shadows. With a steady heart, she entered. Inside, the cavern was filled with a soft, eerie glow from crystals embedded in the walls. At the center of the cavern, on a pedestal, sat the Heart of the Forest, surrounded by swirling dark energy. Guarding the crystal was a shadowy figure cloaked in black. The figure turned to face Alara, revealing a face that seemed to shift and change with the shadows. "Who dares to challenge me?" the figure's voice echoed menacingly. "I am Alara, and I have come to reclaim the Heart of the Forest," she declared bravely. The figure laughed, a sound like rustling leaves. You think you can take it from me? This crystal has given me power beyond your imagination. But I shall offer you a challenge. Solve my riddle, and I will let you take the heart. Fail, and you shall be lost in darkness forever. Elara nodded, steeling herself. What is your riddle? The figure's eyes glowed faintly as it spoke. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I? Elara thought deeply. The cavern seemed to hold its breath as she pondered. Then, she remembered the whispers of the wind she had heard in the forest, the sounds that carried messages without a physical form. An echo, she answered confidently. The shadowy figure's eyes widened in surprise, and with a wave of its hand, the dark energy surrounding the heart of the forest dissipated. You have solved the riddle, and your heart is indeed pure. Take the crystal and restore the balance. Elara approached the pedestal and carefully lifted the heart of the forest. As she held it in her hands, the cavern began to brighten, and the shadows retreated. She made her way back through the mist, and with each step, the world around her grew lighter and more vibrant. When she returned to Willowbrook, the mist had vanished, and the villagers rejoiced at her return. Elder Oak's branches sparkled with renewed vitality, and the heart of the forest was safely returned to its resting place within the tree. The kingdom flourished once more, and Elara's bravery became a cherished tale told for generations. The enchanted creatures of the forest danced and sang, celebrating the return of peace. And so, the kingdom of Willowbrook thrived under the watchful gaze of Elder Oak, protected by the pure heart of a brave young girl. And they all lived happily ever after. Once upon a time, in a tranquil village surrounded by rolling hills and serene meadows, there was a secluded garden known as the Moonlit Garden. This garden was famous for its flowers that only bloomed under the light of the full moon. The flowers were said to have magical properties, and the villagers believed they brought good fortune and joy to those who tended them. For years, the Moonlit Garden had been cared for by a kind old woman named Elara. Her delicate touch and gentle care kept the garden flourishing, and the villagers often came to her for advice and blessings. However, one fateful night, a powerful storm swept through the village, and when the morning came, the Moonlit Garden was left in disarray. The once beautiful flowers were wilted and gray, and the magical glow had vanished. Desperate to restore the garden's magic, Elara confided in a brave young girl named Ava. Ava was known for her adventurous spirit and her deep love for nature. Elara explained that the garden's magic depended on a hidden, mystical artifact called the Moonstone, which had gone missing during the storm. The Moonstone was the key to the garden's enchantment, and without it, the garden's magic could not be restored. Determined to help, Ava set out on a quest to find the Moonstone and save the Moonlit Garden. The first challenge, the Enchanted Forest. Ava's journey took her to the Enchanted Forest, a dense woodland known for its whimsical and magical inhabitants. As she ventured deeper into the forest, she encountered a mischievous fox with fur that shimmered like stardust. To pass through the Enchanted Forest, the fox said with a sly grin, "You must solve this riddle. I speak without a mouth and hear without ears. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Ava pondered the riddle for a moment and answered, "An echo." The fox's eyes sparkled with approval, and it pointed out a hidden path through the forest. "Follow this path," the fox instructed, "and it will lead you to the next challenge." The second challenge, the Crystal Lake. Following the fox's directions, Ava arrived at the Crystal Lake, a serene and reflective body of water surrounded by towering trees. The lake was guarded by a wise old turtle whose shell was adorned with glistening gemstones. To cross the Crystal Lake, the turtle said, "You must prove your wisdom. Answer this question. What has cities but no houses, mountains but no trees, and water but no fish?" Ava thought carefully and replied, "A map." The turtle's eyes gleamed with satisfaction, and it created a shimmering bridge of light across the lake. Ava crossed the lake, her heart filled with hope and determination. The third challenge, the Cave of Shadows. On the other side of the lake, Ava found the Cave of Shadows, a dark cavern filled with swirling, mysterious shadows. At the entrance of the cave was an ancient door covered in intricate carvings. A voice echoed from within the cave, "To open this door and find the moonstone, you must reveal your true intentions. Share your deepest wish and prove that you seek it with a pure heart." Ava took a deep breath and spoke sincerely, "My deepest wish is to restore the moonlit garden's magic so that the village can once again be filled with joy and wonder." The cave's walls began to glow with a soft, silvery light, and the ancient door slowly creaked open to reveal the moonstone resting on a pedestal. Its gentle, moonlit glow illuminated the cavern, filling it with a soothing, magical light. The revelation, restoring the moonlit garden. With the moonstone in hand, Ava returned to the moonlit garden. As she placed the moonstone in its rightful place at the center of the garden, a wondrous transformation took place. The flowers began to bloom once more, their petals glowing with vibrant colors, and the garden was bathed in a magical light that shimmered under the moon. The villagers gathered in awe as the moonlit garden was restored to its former splendor. Ilara thanked Ava for her bravery and selflessness. And the garden's magic brought renewed joy and fortune to the village. The tale of Ava's quest became a cherished story in the village, a reminder of the power of determination, kindness, and the magic that lies within a pure heart. Under the rejuvenated light of the moonlit garden, the village flourished, forever grateful for the young girl who had restored their magical haven. In a quaint village nestled at the edge of a great forest, there lived a humble lantern maker named Elias. Elias was known for crafting the most beautiful lanterns, each one filled with a soft, magical glow that seemed to dance with its own light. His lanterns were cherished by all the villagers, who used them to light up their homes and festivals. One crisp autumn evening, as Elias was closing his workshop, a mysterious old woman appeared at his door. Her cloak was tattered, and her eyes sparkled with an ancient wisdom. She introduced herself as Isolde, a traveler from a distant land. "I have heard of your remarkable lanterns," Isolde said, her voice like a soft breeze. "I have a special request for you." Elias welcomed her in and listened as Isolde explained her request. She wanted a lantern that could hold the light of the moon, a lantern that could shine with a magic so pure it would help guide lost souls back to their paths. Elias was intrigued and agreed to the challenge. Isolde handed him a small vial filled with a silvery liquid. "This is moonlight essence," she explained. "It will help you capture the moon's light. But remember, the lantern must be made with a heart full of kindness and courage." The lantern's creation over the next few days, Elias worked tirelessly on the lantern. He crafted the frame from the finest silver and adorned it with intricate patterns of stars and moons. Each night, he carefully mixed the moonlight essence into the lantern's glass, watching as the liquid shimmered and glowed with a soft, ethereal light. Despite his efforts, the lantern's light seemed to flicker uncertainly. Elias felt a growing sense of doubt. He worried that he might not be able to create the lantern that Isolde had asked for. One night, as Elias sat by his workbench, he heard a soft knock at his door. It was a young girl named Clara, who had come to ask Elias for help. Her beloved pet cat, Luna, had gone missing, and she was heartbroken. Elias immediately offered to help Clara search for Luna. He took his lantern with him, hoping that its light might guide them. They searched through the village and into the forest, calling for Luna. The lantern's soft glow illuminated their path, but Luna was nowhere to be found. The forest's mystery. As they ventured deeper into the forest, the lantern's light began to shine brighter and steadier. The trees seemed to part for them, guiding their way. Soon, they came across a hidden grove bathed in moonlight. In the center of the grove was a large, ancient tree with a hollow trunk. To their surprise, Luna was curled up inside, safe and sound. Clara's eyes filled with tears of joy as she scooped up her furry friend. Elias noticed something extraordinary. The lantern's light had turned into a warm, steady glow, illuminating the grove with a magical radiance. He realized that the lantern's true power was not just in capturing the moon's light, but in the kindness and courage behind it. The lantern's true magic. When Elias and Clara returned to the village, Isolde was waiting at the workshop. She examined the lantern, now glowing with a steady, magical light that seemed to pulse with life. "You have created something truly special," Isolde said, smiling warmly. "The lantern's magic comes not only from the moonlight essence but from the heart that made it." Isolde explained that the lantern's light had a unique ability to guide and protect those who were lost, reflecting the kindness and courage of the one who crafted it. It had helped Clara find her beloved pet and had illuminated the path in a time of need. A new beginning with her task completed, Isolde prepared to leave. She thanked Elias for his hard work and presented him with a beautiful, ancient book of lantern-making techniques, filled with spells and designs from across the ages. Elias felt a renewed sense of purpose and inspiration. He continued to make lanterns for the village, but now each lantern was imbued with a bit of the magical glow he had discovered. The villagers marveled at the new light, which seemed to shine with an even more profound magic. As for Clara, she often visited Elias and shared stories of how the lantern's light had guided her and her family through dark times. The lantern had become a symbol of hope and guidance for the entire village. And so, the humble lantern maker and his enchanted lantern brought light and warmth to many lives, thanks to a bit of moonlight, a kind heart and a touch of magic. The end.